everyone, it's Jen, and welcome to Amateur Kitchen, where I bring you into my kitchen and show you that you don't need to be a professional chef to cook or think like one. And today we're making a miso soup, which is a very traditional Japanese soup. And first off, there's a good story with this. It's number one a viewer choice, and I started looking up the ingredients in the recipe for this and found out the two main ingredients are miso paste, which is a soybean paste, along with dashi powder, which is kind of like a buoyant to kelp, which is a seaweed. So I looked in my Authentics food aisle at my supermarket for it, could not find it. Called a few Oriental markets, nothing there as well. So I decided to call Kobe Japanese Steakhouse in Algonquin, Illinois, and I spoke with John and asked him where can I find a Japanese grocery store around here. He said, really the closest is Chicago. Asked what I was making, and I told him miso soup. So he said, why don't you just swing on by and I'll go ahead and give you the ingredients on the house. It's like, really? Cool. So that's what I did, and that's where our ingredients came from. So thank you so much, Kobe Japanese Steakhouse and John, for hooking me up to do miso soup for you guys today. So first off, we're going to go ahead and head to the stove and start boiling 2 quarts of water, which is really 8 cups, with 4 teaspoons of this dashi powder. So I got it right here. Let's head over. So we've got our water coming up to a boil. From here, I'm going to add this dashi powder, which is just kind of a granulated powder. So we're going to add about 4 teaspoons to that. And just watch it. We can really just put it on simmer because we just want it all to blend in together. And from here, we're going to go and cut up the rest of the ingredients. Alright, so now that our dashi powder is in the water and going ahead and dissolving, we're going to prep the rest of our ingredients that's going to go in our miso soup. First off, I'm going to chop up some shiitake mushrooms, and I like these. If you can't find them, go ahead and use regular mushrooms or even a baby bella mushroom or something like that, or you can just omit it. Some miso soups don't have any mushrooms, they just have the tofu and the scallions. So, which brings me to our tofu. I find this in the regular produce section, and I have the silken tofu. They do have a firm tofu, but I don't recommend that because that's the one that you usually like grill up on a grill. So make sure you get the silken. And then I have a couple scallions that I'm going to chop up, and we're going to put them in the soup at the end of everything. So let's go ahead and prep all of our ingredients. So our dashi broth has been simmering. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take out a few ladles of this because we're going to incorporate the soybean paste or the miso paste in with it because it is kind of pasty, so we do want to just incorporate it a little bit. So we're going to take a little broth out, and from here we're going to stick in everything that we cut up earlier. Our shiitake mushrooms, our tofu, and then our onions. So here's our mushrooms. Here's our tofu, which was 16 ounces, and then some onions. And we're just going to let this simmer until we're ready for our miso paste. Yum, doesn't that look delicious? Now, like I said, you don't have to add the mushrooms if you don't want. I just like that extra texture. So now we're just going to incorporate 6 tablespoons of our miso paste, which that's kind of the texture to it. So let's go ahead and put this in and just go ahead and work it. So we've mixed in our miso paste with some stock, some dashi stock. So now we're just going to slowly incorporate it back into the soup. And at this time you can go ahead and turn off your burner because we don't want this miso paste to boil or anything. And your soup's already hot. And that's it. Looks delicious. And it's ready to serve once you put that miso paste back in there. That's it. We finished making our miso soup. It was really easy as long as you had all the ingredients, right? Let's go ahead and try it though first. Make sure it is everything that we want it to be. It's so good. So light and refreshing too. Love that about this miso soup. And also wanted to point out these cute little spoons that I got. I got them at Pier 1. They're a porcelain spoon. You can get them in red or white. I just think it kind of brings the whole dish together. So if you're looking for those, that's where you can find it. I want to give a big thank you again to John and Kobe Japanese Steakhouse in Algonquin, Illinois. Without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do this. I will put their website up along with another website. So if you don't have a John or a Japanese steakhouse in your area, you can go to this website and order the ingredients online as well. So I hope I've inspired you to cook with different ingredients. I had a blast doing it, and this is what I'm having to eat. I hope you are too, and join me again next time on Amateur Kitchen.